So we have with us Denmark Ambassador to India. Sir, thank you so much for talking to NewsX. So my first question to you is like about seven multi-party delegations from India, have gone to various foreign countries, to expose Pakistan's support to terrorism. We have recently witnessed that the terrorists from Pakistan attacked, kill the tourists in Kashmir's Pahalgam. So, do you think that now it is time that Pakistan should be globally isolated at a global level?
Let me just say that Denmark and the Danish Prime Minister, the Danish Foreign Minister, was among the first leaders, international leaders, to express their condemnation of the terror attack that took place in Kashmir. They also expressed, of course, their condolences to the victims, the families, and the sympathies to the Indian government and people. And there can be no doubt that Denmark has always been, not only against, but terrorism of any kind, in any form, anywhere in the world. And that, of course, also goes for the terror attack that took place here. There is, as you say, multi-party delegations coming from India to various parts of the world. I think the delegation one of the delegations in Europe is going to Denmark. They will arrive later today, where they will also meet with Danish politicians in the Danish Parliament. And I certainly think that it is good in situations like this that in this case Indian politicians are explaining to the world the Indian position and India's perception of what happened and what is likely to take place going forward. So I can only support such diplomatic engagements.
So, like, if we talk about this Russia-Ukraine war, it has been going unabated for the past 4 years, and there has been no stopping from both the sides. At one time, Ukraine, the Russia attacks Ukraine and kills innocent kills and the Ukrainian people are killed, and then Ukraine retaliates by sending drones, armed drones to Russia. So recently, European Union President Ursula von der Leyen had said that they are strongly considering to impose sanctions on Russia if it doesn't stop this war. So what is your take over it? Because Denmark is an active member of the European Union.
Well, from a Danish and European perspective, Russia's invasion of Ukraine was a clear act of aggression. One state attacks another sovereign state, and this is a violation of all international principles. And unfortunately, this bloody war has been going on now for a number of years, and of course, we would like to see it end. But that requires, of course, Russia also to change its behavior. There is already sanctions in place from Europe, the United States, on Russia, and I think what you refer to is further sanctions being considered if there is not a willingness from the Russian side to stop this war of aggression.
So recently what we have seen that when Biden was the president of the United States, they had imposed strict sanctions on Russia. But since Donald Trump has become the president of the United States, they have relatively gone soft on Russia on certain issues. But however, in the recently what we saw that U.S. President Donald Trump was actually criticizing Russian President Vladimir Putin and calling him crazy. So do you think that more strictest sanctions will be imposed by the United States on Russia? Because American sanctions is something which is really difficult for any country to escape. So what is your take over that?
I have no insight or comment on what the United States may or may not do, but it's clear that from a European perspective, we need to keep up the pressure on Russia to bring it to the negotiation table, so we can bring this terrible war to an end, but in a way that respects the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the Ukraine.
Sir, if we talk about the water partnership with India, do you have any plans, collaborating with the Indian government to clean the Ganga river, because in several years, the results aren't very satisfactory, as far as the cleaning of river Yamuna, river Ganga is concerned. So do you have any plans of collaborating with the government of India to clean river Ganga?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to mention that Denmark has a very strong collaboration with India on water. I think we can proudly say that we are probably the main partner for India when it comes to water, and we cooperate in a number of areas on, water supply, on wastewater treatment. But we also cooperate on river rejuvenation, including cleaning up the river Ganges. We, together with Indian partners, have established a sort of a smart lab in Varanasi with Danish partners and Indian institutions, where the purpose is to share experiences from Denmark on how to do river rejuvenation, how to clean up polluted rivers, and we have had that in Denmark, but also polluted harbors, stuff like that. But I think what is important to realize here, despite all these investments, and this was also the experience in Denmark, these things take time. I think the good news maybe for India and the experience we can share is that, the harbor of Copenhagen, for example, 30 years ago was extremely polluted. The river in Aarhus, where I studied 30 years ago, was, polluted, and it was almost hidden away on the tarmac. But today, the harbor of Copenhagen is clean. You can swim in it, and people do swim in it during the summer. Same in Aarhus now, where the river is open. It's become a recreational area with clean water flowing. So there is hope. These things can be cleaned up, but of course it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time because it's very complex problems with a lot of sources and reasons for the pollution. But we have the technology. We know what to do in terms of policy. Now we just need to speed up the implementation, and that's what we're doing in our partnership with India.
So my last question to you is, where do you see Indo-Denmark partnership in the domain of water in the next 2 to 3 years?
I think what we have managed to do here over the past basically 4 years since Denmark and India established a green strategic partnership is that we created a very good foundation. We have launched a number of initiatives, and I think what we'll see now in the years to come is that those initiatives will be scaled up, because this is what we can do here in India. India has the scale, Denmark has the skill, so that will be the key words for our cooperation.
So thank you so much for talking to NewsX. So this was Denmark Ambassador to India speaking to NewsX. This is Aditya Vadhavan reporting for NewsX with video journalist Avinash Shukla, New Delhi.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.